If you are a creator looking for a reliable income stream by selling a product, or maybe you're a startup founder dreaming of launching something physical, chances are you're going to be in the world of consumer packaged goods. We call it CPG. That simply means any product that comes in a package that can sit on the retail shelf on a fridge. And here's the thing, if you want to scale, you eventually need to sell into grocery stores and retail outlets. Hi, I'm Gia. Welcome to my channel. I built my Sichuan condiment brand from zero to retail shelf of 1,000 stores in 2 years. And if you want to do the same, you need to understand the 5 key players that run this industry. So I once paid a food consultant, I think it was $500 an hour, just to explain those terms to me. Today, you'll get the same knowledge in under 10 minutes for free. So you don't have to waste money or feel lost like I did. First up, the manufacturer or co-packer. So this is a partner that actually makes your product. If you're running a food company, you might start making small batches in your own kitchen and give to friends and families to validate the idea. Then you might move to a commercial kitchen to start making your product as a business. But in order to scale up, eventually or very quickly, you will need to someone with equipment and certification to produce at volume. So how do you pick a good co-packer or manufacturer? One, make sure they have the experience with your product type. A cooking factory probably shouldn't be making hot sauces. Also, ask about minimum order quantities, we call MOQ. Some require thousands of units upfront, others can run much smaller. So this is almost like the first question to ask when you contact with manufacturer. It really can make or break your bank. Also, check for certifications, things like FDA, SQF, or organic, or any kind of certification that you wanted to have for your food. So what does the cost look like? They typically will charge you a per unit price. For example, maybe this thing costs $1.50 per jar or $3 per unit. But keep in mind that you usually pay for packaging separately, like the bottles, the labels, the card boxes that you put your product in. So make sure you factor those extra costs into your overall cost of goods sold. A good co-packer is like your backbone. If production goes wrong, everything else falls apart. All right, player number 2. Next is your 3PL. We call it third-party logistics. And basically, it's a warehouse that stores your product and ships it out. Well, think about them as in-between steps. Your manufacturer makes a product, it gets shipped to the 3PL, and then from there, it goes to retailers or direct-to-consumer customers. Can you sell it from the garage and the back of your car to save money? Of course. But if you want to make a business that makes money and can support your family, you might need to think bigger. So do it yourself will not get you there. So how do you pick a good 3PL? Oh, location matters. Pick a 3PL closer to where your customers are to save on shipping. For example, if you want to concentrate your customer base in the West Coast, California is a good location to choose from. But let's say that if you are going to service the East Coast area, I would recommend New Jersey because that's kind of where the cheaper warehouse I have seen. So ask about their pick and pack fees for direct to consumer. Ask about the storage fees, or usually is cost per pallet per month. Ask about their LTL, which is less than a truckload. It's like the product that brings into your warehouse. Ask for inbound and outbound fees. Also ask if they work with logistic companies that can range your larger orders, and if you get a good discount for smaller parcels like a UPS, USPS, and FedEx. Lastly, make sure they integrate with your sales channel. I think most of you probably doing Shopify, and this step is very important because I have worked with 3PL that doesn't integrate with Shopify, and I had to manually enter in every single order into their backend system. Oh, trust me, you don't want to do that. Number 3 is a distributor. So they are the middleman between you and the retailer. Why do we need them? Well, think about it, right? A typical grocery store has about 30,000 SKUs, means products. If a store manager has to order products from every brand, he will literally go crazy. That's why retailers, they don't want to set up an account with every teeny brand. It's just too much paperwork. They only work with distributors. Distributors buy from you, warehouse your products, and then sell them to the stores. How to pick a good distributor? So first, look at their reach. Some are focused on regionally, some are nationally. There are only two national players in the CPG industry. One is called Unify, one is called KeHE. They have warehouses in the major hubs in the United States, but they are expensive to work with. So I would recommend to look at the regional distributors that service the specific area that you want it to be in. And they're usually a little bit more flexible in terms of shelf life, in terms of chargebacks and fees. Second, make sure the distributors specialize in your product category. Some might only do food service. Some only works with natural channels. Some might only work with conventional. So you wanted to make sure that your product fits with this distributor's niche. Ask other founders about their reputation. Do they actually pay on time? So what is the cost and margin for working with a distributor? Distributors usually mark up 18 to 25% of your wholesale price to the retailer. For example, if you sell product to a distributor for $1, then this distributor will likely sell this product to the retail stores for about $1.20 as their wholesale price. It might sound like a lot, but without them, you might not even be able to get into certain retail stores at all. So one burning question: do distributors contact retailers for you? Nah. Well, I guess they could send out an email to their retail customers when they first onboard you as a new product or brand, but you are responsible for getting on the store shelf. That's where our fourth player comes in. We call it a broker. Think of brokers as your salespeople for hire. Their job is to get you in front of the retail buyer, pitch your product, and help you land on shelves. They already have the buyer's phone numbers and emails, which is gold because, trust me, cold emails will never get you anywhere. So how to pick a good broker? So ask what accounts they specialize in. If you wanted to be in Whole Foods, make sure they actually work with Whole Foods. Look for brokers who work on commission only. This is more of a common practice pre-pandemic, but actually after 2020, most brokers would ask for a commission or monthly retainer fee, whichever is higher. A typical commission is about 5% of the invoice, but the retainer fee range drastically from $500 to upwards of $10,000 per month, depending on the region they cover and resources they have. A good broker can open doors you will never be able to get in yourself, but make sure you find the right one for you and the cost structure works for your size. And finally, player number 5, the retailer, the store itself. So this is the holy grail where your product actually touches the consumer. So what they care about: will this product sell? Velocity matters more than how pretty your brand looks. Does it fill a gap in their shelves? Is this something new and disruptive? Is the price right for their consumer base? And this is something they were really looking for. And if you want to get into stores, make sure your product addresses some of those questions. Margins. So most retailers want about 40% margins from the retail price. For example, if your product sells at $10 on the shelf, the wholesale price for this retailer will be around $6. So once you decided on a competitive retail price, you can work your numbers backwards to figure out how much margin you can get from selling that product to the distributor, then to the retailer. Wrap it up, those are the 5 industry players every CPG founder has to deal with: manufacturers, 3PLs, distributors, brokers, and retailers. It might sound like a lot, but together they form this ecosystem that makes this industry work. So the key is to understand their roles, choose partners carefully, and build margins into your pricing from day one. If this video helped, hit subscribe. I've got a lot more founder-to-founder lessons on how to survive and thrive in the CPG world. I hope to see you soon.